Here at the Air Force Academy, we are dedicated to developing leaders of character. By giving cadets opportunities to lead their peers in a variety of settings, they can learn to lead most effectively. However, the highly competitive environment at the Academy can cause cadets to go for leadership positions for the wrong reasons. Those who want to lead for recognition alone and not to better their organization or take care of their subordinates are the leading cause of cadet cynicism and undermine the Academy's mission as a whole.
The ultimate goal of any leader is to inspire commitment in their followers, where the members of their team are highly motivated and dedicated to achieving and surpassing the team's goals. The best way to achieve commitment is through the use of the 4 I's of transformational leadership: individualized consideration, idealized influence, inspirational motivation, and intellectual stimulation. Individualized consideration is where a leader provides a supportive climate in which leaders listen carefully to the individual needs of their followers. Leaders can also act as coaches and advisors while assisting their followers to reach their full potential. Idealized influence is where a leader role models the behaviors expected of their subordinates, such as confidence, humility, and credibility. Inspirational motivation is where leaders communicate high expectations to their followers to inspire them to achieve the team's vision. A leader uses intellectual stimulation by promoting intelligence, rationality, and careful problem solving within their team.
Those who lead for selfish reasons are unlikely to be dedicated enough to their subordinates to use the 4 I's and are more likely to use less involved and less effective leadership styles, such as management by exception passive and laissez-faire leadership. Laissez-faire is a hands-off approach which includes delayed decisions, no feedback, and little effort to help followers. Management by exception passive includes a passive avoidant leader that is generally disengaged until a problem arises.
These techniques and leaders, in our opinion, are a major cause of cadet cynicism and resistance, and we believe they are an important issue to address.
We're going to talk with cadet leaders at various levels of leadership to see how common this problem is, and then look at different ways to try and fix the way cadets lead.
Hi, I'm Liz Keenan. This semester I'm CS21's DO, and then next semester I'm going to be their squad comm, so excited for that. For this semester, so for the fall semester, Drew, the squad comm, and I interviewed for the 3 flight commanders, XO, and first shirt and superintendent. So those were chosen mutually between us based off of interviews with questions based out of like the 38-101 job description. For the most part, the people who surprised us going out for jobs were mostly people who went out for flight commander. We had a lot of people who had no significant leadership positions in the squad the last 2 years, and people who didn't take the initiative and try to get any leadership positions going out for it. So it made you wonder, like, do they actually really want this? Do they just need a boost to their Form 94? I mean, because they walked in with bad uniforms, and it just kind of threw you off guard. It's like, what was your real motivation? I definitely agree that people just want a position. They don't really care what the job is. I've noticed, especially now that I'm inquiring for firstie jobs for next semester, basically every firstie wants security, safety, and character officer because they don't do anything. So it's kind of a shame that firsties are already lacking motivation, and I just don't want it to spread through the rest of the squadron. So definitely people will pick certain jobs for laziness. People also will pick certain jobs, like for example flight commanders. Both semesters are going to get to march at the front of the squad for graduation. You know, their parents get to see that. So people, even though it's just a little factor, people, you know, kind of go out for that too, but you can consider that motivation at the same time. So it's really how you interpret it, but there are definitely people who go out for jobs just because they need that boost in the bomb versus actually wanting to help the squadron and benefit the wing at the same time. So.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Demetrius Stinson. I'm currently Group 2 Director of Operations.
I'm Kyle Frayling. I'm currently the Group 2 Deputy Group Commander.
Yeah, it was a joint effort between myself, Cadet Frayling, and Cadet Kieran, who's the Group 2 Commander. Yeah, you can definitely tell. Sitting down and just listening to somebody speak about a job, a lot of times you can tell when people don't want it for the right reason. People come in and are really passionate about it, have all these ideas, all these different things that they want to implement and things of that nature. And you got somebody that comes in and it's like a really superficial interview, and you can kind of tell that they just want, you know, the job just for the title.
Yeah, some of the big gives are, for instance, not even knowing the 38-101 on their job, seeming like they don't have any good ideas for how to run their position if they get the position. Is general knowledge questions of the job, and they don't really seem to know what goes on for real with it. So
I think we get to a point sometimes to where you need something to set you apart, especially when it comes to the board order of merit. And so people sometimes do want those positions just to say I've been in the position, so they can have that, I guess, advantage on other people.
I'm Amanda Fanning, and I'm a 3 degree. I'd have to say my flight commander last year in particular, he got in the position, and I feel like he never really came around, never really checked in on his people, and maybe he did that because he didn't realize maybe what the job entailed, but I think that that's kind of a problem. I'd say that people get forgotten and their needs kind of get pushed on the back burner, I'd say. And I'd say that that kind of affects the squadron as a whole and their morale and just kind of how we function. I'd have to say element leader, just because I feel like you can make the biggest impact as an element leader, just checking in on your people and showing that you actually care. Yeah, I definitely think that's really important, especially because you kind of need to know what you're going to be doing before you get into a job, just that way you can have a heads up and so that way you know what to expect, and also so that way you can perform, you know, to your highest ability in that job position.
So as we've seen, cadets at all levels have witnessed other cadets pursuing leadership positions for the wrong reasons. We suspect that this isn't because cadets are selfish or don't care about the people underneath them, but because they don't know enough about the job prior to applying.
To see if this is the case, we created a survey that we offered to sophomores in 3 squadrons regarding how well prepared they feel for taking leadership positions next year.
We asked our sophomores the following 4 questions. Are you interested in any leadership positions for 2 degree year? Why are you interested or not interested? Does the academy make sure sophomores are well informed enough to take on leadership positions? And what do you think the best way to prepare sophomores for future leadership positions?
From our responses, we saw that almost 69% of the people who responded were interested in applying for leadership positions as 2 degrees. And when asked why, they had responses such as, I want to take advantage of all the opportunities this place has to offer that will hopefully make me a better leader on the operational side, since everyday life here does not adequately prepare you. And being in a leadership position gives you a great chance to get to know your people well. I have seen examples of good leaders and leaders that lacked in a few areas. I would hope that I could set a good example for the classes to come. This shows that most cadets do intend to lead for the right reasons, already intending to use things like individualized consideration and idealized influence. However, almost 68% either disagreed or strongly disagreed with the statement that USAFA was adequately preparing them for a leadership position. When asked what they thought would best prepare them for taking these positions, they said, most of us don't have much of an idea on what positions are available, what positions do, and how we can prepare to be in those positions. More information in general about 2 degree positions, along with the interview processes for them, would benefit us greatly. And also, involvement or shadowing of upperclassmen in their prospective fields. You can learn a lot just from taking a behind-the-scenes approach, even if you are not actively engaged. It also helps prevent you from making the same mistakes as your predecessors.
When we learned about professionalism, we saw that one of the primary tenets was preparing your replacements, something we obviously haven't been doing very well. We need to do a better job at getting information out to our 3 degrees.
We believe that by educating sophomore cadets about 2 degree leadership positions, they will apply with better intentions and be more prepared for those jobs. As a possible solution, we took the face-to-face approach. My superintendent and I offered an open discussion and informational session for any sophomores interested in leadership. We tried to give them the most useful information from our experiences and explain to them the amount of work involved, and directed them towards the 38-101, which contains all the job positions for all the positions in the wing. The cadets who came said that it was extremely helpful, and we emphasized to them that they could come to us or any other upperclassmen at any time with questions about leadership positions. While this was relatively limited in scope, we believe that it's important that we start a conversation on this topic and set an example for other cadets and squadrons.
Throughout the wing, solutions to this problem are already starting to be implemented. For example, my squadron, CS21, has started a continuity binder program for the upper two leadership positions. These binders provide an easy-to-read how-to list for each position. They include the major job requirements and advice from previous position holders. This will provide necessary information for future leaders and help improve overall performance.
Ultimately, it's the responsibility of any leader to make sure that his or her replacement is prepared for the job and is taking it for the right reasons.
It's going to take constant effort from nearly all cadets to see any improvement in the wing.